Hey everybody, this is my first update of the year and my first video, and I can't even tell you how long. Um, so, we finally bought our house in November of last year, so that's why it's kind of taken a while for me to get a new video up, trying to, get moved in and then finally get my video set up exactly the way I wanted it. You can't really tell behind this, but um, so I have a new setup. This is the shelf that one of the shelves I had before, and I flipped it side up so that the records can actually face up, so it's easier to flip through, just like if you're a regular record store. Um, and underneath is a table that my kids and I built a couple of weeks ago, so it could be high enough up. And I say one cabinet because I did have two, but one of the two sort of kind of fell out of my truck um, upon moving stuff into the new house. So, um, yeah, that's what happened. So anyway, there's been a lot of changes. I got let me see if I can give you a good enough view of how all this looks now. So all the records are organized, and those little cardboard things in there have the names of the artists and bands and stuff, so it's easier to look through when looking for stuff. So enough about the new setup. I went to a pawn shop in West Columbia where we had moved from originally. I'd seen they'd been open a while back and went in and asked about any records, and the lady said that they had a lot, but they didn't have any put out yet, and to give her, I think, about a couple weeks or whatever. So I went back a couple weeks later, and for a while it seemed like the pawn shop was closed. There was no cars and anything. So I happened to be in the area Wednesday, and I went out and looked, and because I was running an errand down that area, and saw they were open. So I popped on in just to see, and I looked through some stuff. There was a pretty decent selection, actually, of stuff, but I didn't have enough to buy everything I wanted then, so I bought like three on Wednesday, and then went back and bought some of the rest yesterday when I got paid. I will say, with it being a pawn shop, they aren't too sympathetic to what the condition of the actual record is. So they went online. They didn't have any price tags originally. They went online to see, worth of the record or whatever, and then like kind of made a price based on that. Um, so some of the records are actually a pretty decent deal. Some of them it was kind of like probably shouldn't have paid that much for it. But in the grand scheme of things, some of these records you're not going to find original copies out in the wild that often. And if you find them on eBay, they're probably going to be around the same price or probably even more. Then you got to add shipping and then the time to wait. So I jumped on a few of these. I ended up buying 10 total, two of which are going to a friend of mine. One of which is one I already had, but I needed the cover because I didn't have the when I bought the copy on eBay, it came with no cover. But I know my copy is in better condition, so that's what I'll actually play. Um, so now I have a cover for that record. So I'm only going to show you the 7 that are newest additions to the collection, and some of these I think are pretty much have to haves. Um, so the first one I'm going to show is Dokken Back for the Attack. I believe this is their second album. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is their second album. And this makes 3 Dokken records for the collection. The next one is Triumph Thunder 7. And this came out, it appears to be like 1984. Not really sure what the order of that is. But this is number 7 for my Triumph collection. We have one new band in the collection, and this one I really thought I had to have, and it was decently priced. I'm not going to tell you the price of any of them, by the way, but this one was pretty decently priced. And The Clash, Combat Rock, my first one from them. Of course, it has "Should I Stay or Should I Go" and "Rock the Casbah" on there. Two songs probably pretty much everybody knows. This was one that I had to have in my collection. I've been looking for it on eBay, and it's usually been not greatly priced, and for the most part, it's been bids, and there wasn't any, set price or best offer or anything. Alice Cooper's $1 Billion Babies. Finally getting a copy of this. And I want to say it's number 9 or number 10 for Alice. Rush, Permanent Waves. And this is the third Rush album in the collection. This one I bought for my wife. I'm not really a huge fan, but Fleetwood Mac Rumors. Got actually a pretty decent deal on this. Like I said, not a lot of these are in the best condition, but most of what I think I can get just by cleaning. So it doesn't look like a lot of deep scratches or anything. I wouldn't have bought anything like that. Here's the one that was I had to have because, being that I am a Ronnie James Dio fan of whatever he's done in rock, be it Rainbow, Black Sabbath, his Dio project or band or whatever. So I finally able to get the first Rainbow album with him, the self-titled Ritchie Blackmore's Rainbow. So now I have all 3 of the Dio era Rainbow records. And this was actually probably the best condition of most of these. So those are the ones that made it into the collection that I'm happy to finally have. Probably about 3 of those are really must-haves in the collection. The other ones were just kind of bonus gets. So, just never know what you might find. Thrift stores, I really haven't had a ton of success in thrift stores or Goodwill or anything, but the pawn shop turned out to be a pretty decent haul. They had a lot of stuff in there I already had, but I think it's pretty good haul overall. I think 10 albums for just under $100 in a 2-day spend isn't too bad. So anyway, thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed already, remember I do have a Facebook page just for the records. It's VC Pace. And also I have a group on Facebook that is VC United. So, stop on in, check it out. Send a request to join. Love to have you. Thanks for taking the time, and God bless.